And here is the final makeup look. I had exactly one person ask me to do my makeup routine, so I'm gonna do my makeup routine. I do have a couple of new things to try, so we're actually just gonna be trying them out together. I just got this Maybelline Grippy Primer, a Grippy Serum to try for the first time. I've always used the e.l.f., but some of the girls I follow on TikTok seem to love this, so I'm gonna try it as my primer today. I've already done my skincare before I did my blowout, so I was already looking glazed donut. I have trouble with my under eyes, and I never know if I should bring my primer all the way up in there. I don't really know, but okay. While that dries down, whatever primer that I'm using, I then do my brows next. I have been using the Benefit brow setter. Don't love. I've heard really good things about Rare Beauty, so I got that to try. Rare Beauty, this is the Brow Harmony. We'll see. I guess I don't know, I don't think that I have very thick lashes. Also, I just got mine threaded, and I love my girl. I've been going to her for a very long time. I feel like this eyebrow is much thinner than it normally is. I don't actually, both of them, don't love it. Okay. Ooh, okay, so it has kind of similar applicator to the next one, which I have used before, but it seems like it gets crusty by the end of the day, which I don't entirely love. Okay, I'm liking this so far. One of the things about the brow, the Benefit, is that I don't feel like it really gets in my eyebrow hairs, so I'm already liking this one better for that reason. The brush of it, I guess. So I'm gonna do this. Beautiful. Okay. Next step is do my foundation. I use a beauty blender. The foundation I'm gonna use today is the Hourglass Luminous Glow foundation. I love it on my skin. It has pretty good coverage, and it just gives this glow. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get this damp first. I feel like I hadn't used a beauty blender for years. I'd been using a brush, and then when I got the Hourglass, I liked it, but I wasn't really loving how it was laying down with the brush. So I figured, let me try the beauty blender again, and now I love it. I don't use it, you'll see, for most of my routine, just for the foundation. But what I do is, and this one I will say, you gotta give it a little shake. She gets liquidy, I don't really know what's up. And yes, I go directly on the face. The picking up just doesn't work for me. I feel like the beauty blender eats all of the product up before it even gets to my face. And then I'm annoyed because I'm like, how much effing product am I using? So this is not novel. I will say, like I was saying, I have trouble with my under eyes specifically. No matter what I do, it fucking creases. I just can't. So what I attempt to do is to not bring anything all the way up, and instead kind of try and stop right here where I have these little designer eye bag like pockets. Does it help? I don't entirely know. Another thing I will say, just since I have you, is that I used to always do my mascara last. However, I always get mascara on my eyelids. Then I'd be like rushing around, because it's my last step, waiting for it to dry so that then I can clean it off with a Q-tip. Recently, I've tried switching it up, and I'll do my mascara kind of like after this foundation step while I'm waiting for it to dry down before I do my bronzer. I don't think I want to do that today, but I was making conversation. I was letting you know where I am. Off camera, I just went through and did one more layer, and like, when just look at the glow on that. I concentrated the second layer on my cheeks mainly because they're rosy, and I wanted to make sure that that wasn't showing through, just because I'm gonna do that with all my other stuff. Next, I use the LYS bronzer stick. I used to use the Rare Beauty and the Happy Soul, and I had repurchased it many times. And then Katie Fawn, who is a lifestyle person on TikTok, posted that she finally got around to trying the LYS and she loved it. I said, if Katie Fawn is trying it and liking it, then I must as well. This is in the shade No Limits Harmony, and this shade works so much better for me than the Rare Beauty, and it's because it's a little warmer, which is weird to me because I have been so anti like warmer colors on myself because I feel like it pulls orangey. I don't know, but when I've done them both, but am I okay? When I've done both of them, like in comparison to one another, I for sure like this one and how it goes on better. I've also recently changed the placement of my bronzer, and I feel like it's really helped with my face shape. So one thing that I always hated that would happen is that I felt like I had that very big divide, you know, where like you used to do the contouring, and I just didn't love how that looked. It just looked so fake. So now what I do is I stamp this. I don't drag, but I do stamp. I go directly on. I just can't with the picking up of the brush. And I do really high up on my cheekbones, and then I do my, you know, whatever that's called too, my hairline, but I really try and concentrate it on the cheeks high up. Naturally it's gonna, you know, you'll get some more down here as well, within that way it's not heavily down the cheeks. I don't know how to explain it other than to tell you it used to look awful. So I'll just stamp that right in. I'm using the Mario Makeup by Mario foundation. I actually don't know if this is a foundation brush. This is the F4 brush, and I am obsessed with it. I use it for actually many steps in my routine, which you will see. And so I just go in and I use this to warm up my skin and give me that glow, that bronzy glow look. Who just scored? Oh, Gasecki. Okay, so it might not look like much, but I just feel like having the bronzer placed higher up for me and really concentrated here gives me that like lifted look, whereas here it just was too low for my very, I don't know if I have round or oval face or fat oval, I don't really know, but this is looking a little light on the bronzer today. Like it just melted so perfectly. So I might do just a little bit more. Get just really like right here and kind of buff that out. Oh, that one doesn't look, now I'm wondering if I'm just being blinded by the flashlight on my phone. Oh man. So now, you know, there's more kind of on the cheeks down here, but it's not fully concentrated there. Also, I do kind of bring it out to all of the cheeks. I usually go over the nose a little bit, but it's not all of the product. It's just kind of what's left on the brush. And then I still get, you know, that kind of like line here, but it's just not as harsh. I don't know. I feel like I used to put my bronzer here when I stopped doing contour, and it just like wasn't really working for me. So anyways, enough of that. Now I do my blush, and I have a couple of decisions to make. So yesterday I was influenced in the Sephora line to get the mini Westman Atelier blush in the shade Petal. Let me show you it. Wow, that's almost looks like it has plastic on it. Oh no, that's going on my foot. Okay, so it's like a mauve-y pink. I do have, when I do like very pinky blush, well not very pinky, but pinky for me, I have the Haus Labs, the bronzer in the Glassy Ginger, and this one's a little bit lighter. And it's cute and I like it, but I've just been using it for a while and I wanted something new. However, when I was at Ulta today, I did also pick up this Morphe, I think it's like a Patrick Ta Zuccaroni cheap cheek thrills. and it's a trio, and it has a satin cream, a luminous balm, and a velvet powder. So let's look at the color together and see how it compares to the Westman Atelier in Petal. Okay. This is what it looks like. Okay, so these are actually kind of darker than I was anticipating. I do like that shimmer shade. And these are not, I thought they were, but they're not at all in the same familia. So I think what I'll do is I'll try the Westman Atelier today on my cheeks, and I just go in with that same F4 brush. And for the blush, I have found that picking it up, I like that better in the results, at least with the Haus Labs, which is what I've been using primarily, than the bronzer. So then I go in and I do more at like down here on the cheeks, but spread out as well. And I'm now realizing, like, should I be doing this for the first time, one on camera, and also where I barely can see what it looks like in my mirror because of the flash on my camera? Perhaps not. But I'm doing it for you, Courtney. Okay. Oh, I think that's very pretty. Ooh, nice and rosy. And I do like how that matches with the LYS bronzer. I do a little on the nose. She's sun-kissed. Perhaps a little up here. Gorgina. Okay, now this is a brand new technique that I did this week, the day that I had my office holiday party. I'm gonna set it using my Charlotte Tilbury spray, and then I'm gonna do my powder products, and then I'm gonna set it again. Crazy longevity. Okay, this smells so good. Man, how the fuck did I already get this dirty? Once I set, sometimes I'll go in with my little fan, and sometimes I won't. It just depends, honestly, on how much it's dripping into my eyeballs. And in my mind, if I do the spray, then it won't retain that glow. That's not true. But for right now, I'm just gonna let this dry down. I'm just realizing I didn't do any concealer. Do I try right now? I got the Tarte Shape Tape in a mini to try. I haven't tried it in years, but I've recently kind of started using concealer again. So maybe I will. Oh, fuck it, I just did my setting spray. Maybe I'm being a little adventurous. I'll do just a little dot. Well, that's all I'm gonna get out of this applicator. A little dot, let it sit, and then we can always course correct. I got time too, I got time. Ooh, that's creamy. Okay, kind of let that dry down. Hopefully this didn't dry too much. I was gonna start filming and the browns had a 4th and 2. They were somehow catching up to the bills. I don't know why. I love Josh Allen. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the smaller side of my F4 brush, and I'm just gonna like stamp and really oh my god, that's thick. Really concentrate it here, because up here, that's like the trick to brightening it up without going in where your fine lines really are, and kind of like stamping that out. And I look up just because that feels like the thing to do. Girls, I hate to say it. I'm loving how this is coming out. I mean, we'll see how it ends up behaving in the long run. I forget if I already said this. I don't think I did. I had been using the Haus Labs concealer. She's not nice to me. I love the color. I love the formula. However, here it always looked like it was separating, and I have to imagine it only happens when I use the concealer, and I don't really understand why. And fine lines of many, which is not entirely her fault, but she doesn't make it better. I also actually got this. I was going insane at Ulta today. I got the next one to try too. Like, couldn't you have tried one at a time? Did you have to buy both? Whatever. All right. Oh my god. That is so pretty. So with the Haus Labs, what I'd been doing is I would then go back in with the bronzer because it was like fucking up. And this one's not doing that, so we don't have to do that. Now, I suppose we'll move on to powder. So, for my powder, I also use a Makeup by Mario brush. This one, is the F2. So, my bronzer that I have been using is the Dior Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder, and this is in 110. 24 months. I don't remember when I got this. I should probably check that. Oh well. She looks like that. Sometimes she picks up very light. Sometimes she picks up very heavy. Just have a little bit of glitter to it. And I try and focus on the sides. And I don't know why. I know why. Because I'm afraid that if I start down here and it picks up pretty heavily, that then I'll hate the shape that it gives my face. So just kind of going back in the same places where I used the cream bronzer and patting this in. I do try and bring it down a little more on the forehead just because I don't like that look of bronze, not bronze here. I'll use it to kind of blur and stamp down here in case I'm like starting to get that very defined. You would think that someone that looks like the Michelin Man would like some definition. It just doesn't work for me. So, going very light, all things considered, on this today. And then what I'm gonna do is, so what I have been using for blush is Dibs. I don't remember if I've already said that. I don't think I did. I think it was in something else. In this Spice Gal. She's really pretty. I actually really like it. She has some shimmer to it, but I did buy this new palette for a reason. So should we use her? Should we try her? I think I'll do this little shimmer girl right here. Let's see how. And so then I use the other side of the brush. Wow, this is so hard because I can't tell if it's picking up anything, and I don't know how insane it's gonna look. Wait, that's not true. I don't normally use this side for my bronzer. I go in with the big one. Or bronzer. This is why I'm not a makeup influencer. For my blush. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty on. Let's do a little more on this side. Go like that. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. But that doesn't look so bad. And I do go in and clean that up with a Q-tip. It's like, again, that's my fault, but that's really annoying. Okay, another thing, I'll just honorable mention, I don't think I'm gonna do it today, I don't have the mental capacity for it, is I got this Morphe eyeshadow palette. This is in Outer Spice. And I was like, maybe I'll get into eyeshadow. I don't think that I can. Morphe, could you do something about your packaging? This shit sucks to open. Oh my god. I'm so fucking annoyed. I hate, like, I don't want to have to break my nail to open this. Ugh. Okay. These are the colors. How pretty. Sugar and Spice, Cinnamon Twist, Ginger Snapped, Sweet Talker, Gold Flavor, Dash of Cocoa. Maybe I try this off camera. My camera ran out of storage during my last video. Don't know where I ended. And you know what? I don't think you care. I'm waiting for my curling iron to heat up, and I figured I would try this new lip combo that I bought. This pencil is XOXO from Dibs, and then this is the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil in Worth It. So, let's see. Okay, it's very much giving the same color of my lips. Oh, there we go. There we go. I never do a lip liner, by the way. But it seems like what the girls do. It seems like what needs to be done. Spooky. And I don't need to overline my lips. Okay. So far, I am loving this color, if anything, just because it's so similar to mine, but zhuzhed up a bit, and then, okay. Ooh, I like that color. On its own, I'm gonna go over the lip liner because I don't love that like very in your face lip liner look, which probably defeats the purpose if you ask me, or if you ask somebody else. Okay, I need to clean that up. However, oh fuck. Okay, live, laugh, loving for this combination. And here is the final makeup look.